All right, peace and love, everybody. Dayron here, and today I decided to come out into some wonderful scenery. This here is a water reservoir, which actually helps to prevent flooding. And a message that really came to me that I felt called to deliver is a message of faith, right? And I feel like this is something that we all need to hear, right, at the present times going on. So wherever you are in the world listening to this, right, whether it's something in our daily lives or it's something going on um, in the environment that we're in, right? No matter your belief, what you believe in, right? There's still something called faith, right? Which is that inner belief that everything is going to be all right. And with this, I just kind of talk about faith in my journey. So recently, I moved to another country, right, Japan, and with that, I had to take what you call a leap of faith. So with me, I'm still in the process of what you can say getting your footing, right, and that requires getting a visa, getting situated, and everything. So as for now, while those things are being worked out, it's kind of a point in where I'm just seeing the country, right, and being able to experience the things that I've always wanted to see and experience, whether that's museums, whether that's nature, which I'm in now, just those different aspects I'm seeing now as those situations are being worked out for me to actually live in Japan, right? And as I said, for me, it was a leap of faith, right? So a lot of times I talk to a lot of people and they said it's good to get a visa right before you come, right, to Japan or another country for that matter. And I listened to this advice. However, I felt called, right, to make that jump, to believe and move with that leap of faith. And since I've done that, let's see, I've been here for about months now, right? And since I've done that, I became aligned with different situations, different scenarios, right? I've talked to people where different information has came to me about ways to get situated, right, and become anchored or building like a foundation, right? And so those things happen when we move by faith, right? So there's a saying that in the Bible, it's like it's move with faith, not by sight, right? And what that means is to move with that inner knowing that everything's going to be all right, rather than seeing with your eyes that you don't know if it's going to be all right. So many times, if I didn't make this move by faith, then I could have looked at obstacles. Oh, I don't have a job. I don't have a place to live. I don't really know anyone. I'm starting over. I'm not sure where food, water, shelter is needs to still be out, right? And it's kind of like being called to go. So I don't know if that's going to work out. And with that, you walk the road into alignment, right? So in the podcast, I talked about alignment, not prepared, or journey, right? Our life mission to walk on a road, and sometimes we get sidetracked. So we get off that road, right? Might become confused, might get lost, like that. In that we find our anchors, which are in many cases instances of faith, right? Or instances of wisdom or knowledge that we came about that we learn from people or people we even meet on a journey that help anchor us to get back to our road, right? And when we get back to our road, we get what we call clarity to our alignment. So consider clarity like now, right? So you see, like to me, right? We talk about perception, right? So to me, when I look out into this land area, I see a lot of clarity. There's a lot of open space, right? You have your trees, you have right the grass and things. So clarity, open space, right? So this is what happens when we continue to walk by faith. We have our moments of clarity, right? And then as we walk, as happens to all of us, those are those instances where those distractions are sidetracks, things like that, moments of confusion come about to try to take us to those tall grasses. But if we continue to walk without faith, then we can get back to our clarity, get back to our road. So again, there's a lot going on, in our own daily lives, a lot to, think about, especially wherever you are in the world. So I think now one of the best things that we can do is work on ourselves and building within, right? And with that, with faith, I know that everything's going to be all right with that. We just build our inner faith, and with that, everything will be worked out. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying there's not going to be tough times ahead, trials and tribulations, all of those things, right? But within that, as long as we hold on to an anchor, right, which are those instances, those people, those moments of wisdom that help us get back on track, to get clarity, everything's going to be worked out, right? So with that, just remember to, was something that helps me is to find something that I'm grateful for, right? That can bring a smile to your face, right? That brings a smile to my face. And with that, you can feel good. Because when you feel good, right, you're able to anchor your actions into that feel good feeling, right? So, when like, say you watch a comedy or something makes you laugh, you feel good, right? You feel that laughter. So with me, after I had that laughter, it makes me want to do more actions that align with that feeling, right? So whether that's, working out, whether that is, telling someone I love that I love them, right? Whether that is working on your business, right? Whether that is just to come out in nature and just enjoy the scenery, right? Whether that's some self reflection, whether that's journaling, right? It all comes to that anchor of gratitude, right? So again, as I go back to the example of the tall grasses, right? We have those instances that we recognize we may be getting off track, go back, right? To those instances of gratitude, of feeling good, that aligns with those actions that bring clarity, that brings us back to our road, right? So it's kind of like when you work out, right? Whether you work out, you don't work out, whether it's taking a test at school or whether it's going to work every day, right? It's repetition, right? And the more you do it, the more you become acquainted to it, and it becomes natural to you, right? So you'll be able to recognize distractions. You're able to recognize moments of your confusion, right? And when these moments happen, now we have that anchor of gratitude, right, and faith that no one's going to get back into alignment. And we take those steps to make it happen, right? And when we start to feel good, again, we do those positive actions. I do those actions that make us feel good. There it grows, right? So again, this is all going back to faith and knowing that things are going to work out, right? So we can watch the news, we can look at the environment around us, we can look at our daily lives, right? And we can get pulled in multiple directions, worrying about this, worrying about that. How is this going to get done? How is this going to get done? right? But in the midst of that storm, if we hold on to that anchor of faith, you'll be surprised in how the answers come to you. Work for me. So with that, just wanted to come on and have a brief message, right, that I was called to give. So remember for us to all to take time to ourselves to continue to hold on to that faith, right? To build that clarity and walk in our alignment as we walk our journeys of that road. So I'm Dayron. Tune in to the next video. I appreciate your time. Peace.